Everybody knows what it feels like to get stabbed in the back. And honestly, that kind of betrayal, it's one of the worst experiences you can have in this life. When somebody that you're close to, you trust, you depend on, somebody that you've really shared your life with, when you feel like they've really betrayed you and stabbed you in the back, it makes it hard to trust. But here's the reality. Every single human relationship, except for one, runs the risk of betrayal. Now, the only relationship that we can have is a relationship with God where we won't be betrayed. That's it. Every other relationship runs that risk. That's what's so unique and special about this relationship we have with God. He promises to never leave us nor forsake us. He promises to never turn his back on us, or promises to never stab us in the back or let us down. He's trustworthy. He's dependable. He's faithful. And so when we think about that relationship with God and what he does for us and who he is for us and the way his love works in our lives, it's such an empowering thing. Because here's the thing, God will never betray you, but you know you've betrayed God. I know I have. I know everybody has. In fact, that's such a cool thing about Jesus. You know, he had this relationship with a guy named Judas. And Judas was the one who handed him over to be crucified. He gave him the kiss on the cheek that was the signal that this was the one they were looking for. And Judas betrayed Jesus, which is kind of wild that in the scriptures when it talks about the night of his betrayal, Jesus took bread and he broke it. And he took the cup and he offered it even to Judas. You see, here's the thing. God knows that we will let him down. He knows that we'll betray him. He knows our hearts, and yet he still loves. He still offers himself to us. He still lays down his life and gives himself to us over and over and over again. And so here's the choice that we get to make. Do we want to be like other people, or would we rather be like God? You're going to be betrayed. People are going to stab you in the back. Look, people are going to gossip about you. That's one of the forms of betrayal that happens. And you know what? It happens. What are you going to do about it? I mean, you can count the cost. You can kind of have an idea it's coming. You can read the signs. Like, for instance, if somebody gossips to you, they're going to gossip about you. Make no mistake about it. If somebody gossips to you, then they're going to gossip about you. And so you know that that's kind of part of the deal. And so don't be surprised when it happens. Instead, you can make a choice and say, all right, this relationship is worth the risk. I'm willing to run this risk. And because of that, if there is a betrayal, I can choose then to be like God. I don't have to turn my back on this person or be so wounded that I write them off or the relationship can no longer exist anymore. Instead, I can be like my Lord, my master, the one I follow, and I can make a decision to say, you know what? I'm going to re-engage. I'm going to step back into this relationship. I'm not going to deny that it happened. I'm going to acknowledge it. I may ask you about it. I may press into that, and maybe we'll take some steps to find some healing in our relationship, not just sweeping it under the rug, but I'm not going to disengage. I'm not going to blow you off. Instead, you can make a decision that says, this relationship is worth the risk. It's worth the possibility of betrayal and maybe enduring this pain again. And if you do that, then you'll be free to love like Jesus does, keeping no record of wrongs, not keeping score. And then you'll be able to really share God's love with your ones, all of them.